We started talking last week about marriage principles and the qualities in selecting a spouse in Islam. The commands to choose an honorable, pious woman with conviction for its significance in preserving faith, family, and honor. We started to discuss the second quality, which is beauty, clarifying that it is a natural instinct which is honorable and endorsed by the divine guidance. The commands for the man to see his fiancée intended primarily to verify beauty and compatibility. My dear brothers and sisters, because beauty is a demanded quality that is relative in nature, very relative depending on who is looking and who is valuing and what's the basis of his evaluation. So the beauty is a demanded quality that is relative in nature, and we will get to know its measures, traits, and values. You'll find the stark beauty as a kind of that beauty, a startling beauty which attracts you from a distance, grab your attention from a distance. You will find the funny and amusing beauty that attracts you as you get to know the person. You get to know the person and talk to him, and you see this funny and amusing beauty. And the internal beauty, the beauty of the soul, which you also can call the beauty of faith and conviction, that illuminate the face with goodness and nobility. Imam Ibn Qayyim said, know that beauty is two kinds, internal and external. The internal beauty, which loved for its entity, like the beauty of knowledge, wisdom, goodness, dignity, and courage. This is the internal beauty. It's not physical in nature. It's an internal beauty that it is loved for the entity, particular entity that qualifies the person, like knowledge, wisdom, goodness, dignity, courage. And it is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks, where He loves His servants, the internal beauty. In a correct hadith, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, Allah does not look to your external being, your looks, your shape, your muscles, your tallness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look to your external beings and wealth, but He looks to your heart and deeds. This internal beauty beautify and enrich the external beauty, giving its owner, man or woman, a calm novelty and attraction relative to what he acquired of such virtues. The biased believing and the biased believer given nobility and beauty in proportion to his conviction, to his faith. Whoever sees him, honor him, and whoever knows him, loves him, regardless of his physical appearance. This is well-experienced fact, especially if this biased believer blessed with the performance of the night prayer. A woman was asked about her numerous night prayers. She said, it beautifies the faith, and I love for my face to be beautiful. Internal beauty is superior to external beauty because it is everlasting. As hearts always stay attracted, adore, and love whoever enjoy such a blessing. Internal beauty, everlasting. External beauty with age and time fades and go away. Regarding external beauty, it is a splendor. It is a splendor which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed some over others. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Fatir, verse 1, He adds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He adds to creation as He pleases, for Allah has power over all things. The scholar said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He added to creation, it is actually the beautiful faith, the beautiful voice, and the natural instincts that attract us to such external beauty. So external beauty is a special bounty that requires special thanks, because again, it is blessing to some over others. And its sense is piety, humility, and goodness. When you are blessed with such an advantage, there is a price. There is actual taxes, if you will, special, which is sense and piety and humility for what you are blessed with of that blessing of beauty. Whoever consume his or her beauty in wickedness and malice, it turns into ugliness and misery in this life and in the hereafter. Whoever uses this external beauty in an unauthorized way, if you will, there will always be a price which is actually disgrace in this life and in the hereafter. My dear brothers and sisters, this wise illumination of the different kind of beauty from the scholar, Imam Ibn Qayyim, as we mentioned earlier, require emphasis on very important points and understandings. The first important points, we conclude that external beauty and appearance without faith is a curse and misery, and can be a curse and misery, while the beauty of belief and conviction is illuminating and lasting. She who is blessed with the beautiful faith without piety and thanks for her Creator may look down on her spouse and may be a disobedience to him. Imam al-Wardi said, those who have knowledge, talking about the intellect, if you will, those who have knowledge dislike her with overwhelming beauty as she becomes arrogant because of it. And he also said that Imam Ahmad mentioned some of his companions saying, do not put too much stock in the beautiful one. Do not pay too much effort and look for that beautiful one. She is seldom good for you. Second important point, she who enjoys beauty without faith, growing up in the wrong morals, in the wrong environment, would be inclined to betray her husband in self and money. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made a lot of parallels to bring things to our attention and to make us understand the point. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made the parallel of the character of people in general with metals. Some are precious and some are cheap. Also, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made the parallel of a beautiful woman who grew up in a bad environment as a green, tender plant that grow out of the waste of the animals. And those who are farmers can see that. You see a beautiful, tender plant grow on the waste of an animal. And this growth can look very inviting to the animal to eat, but can be harmful and make the animal sick. That is the parallel the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made of a starkly beautiful woman that grew in a bad environment with a bad input, with no faith. As this beautiful tender plant that grew out of a waste of an animal, and if the animal eat it, it will make him sick and make him ill. In a hadith narrated by Imam al-Darqutni and Aram al-Zayd and Imam al-Asakari, that on the authority of Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, may God be pleased with all of them, that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned and commanded to avoid the beautiful woman who grew up in a bad environment, and made the parallel we just mentioned in that hadith. The divine warning is clear to whoever pays attention only to external beauty, regardless if it was plagued with no faith and bad foundation, as the branch of a tree will always follow its greater root in character, conduct, and kind. You're not going to see a fruit tree grow out of a sour root. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-A'raf, what actually support that hadith that some will say it's a weak hadith that the Prophet said, peace be upon him, said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-A'raf in a very clear verse. Allah said, from the land that is clean and good, by the will of its cherisher, spring out produce rich after its kind. But from the land that is bad, spring out nothing, but which is unsatisfactory. And in the tafsir of Abu Bakr al-Manar, it was narrated that he study the character of people. See, goodness comes easy and with no effort from those who are honorable, and those who are wicked cannot produce anything good, honorable, or truthful. Third important point, that beauty commanded in Islam not related to the looks and appearance of the woman, but lies in her conduct, in her manner. That is the beauty that Islam promotes and asks our young men and women to look for in selecting their spouse. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, pointed at that fact when he said about this beautiful woman in Islam that she is the one who pleases him, her husband, when he looks at her, obey him when he commands her, and do not contradict him with silk or her money with what he does not like. She is the one that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, referred to in another hadith narrated by Imam al-Bayhaqi on Abi Uzayn al-Salafi, that he said, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the best of your women is the lovable, fertile, and obedient, and the supportive with money and self, if they are mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Honorable, pious wife. This is heaven on earth, and the envy of the one who is blessed to have her in his life. This is beauty in Islam, which is the most desirable in young women and young men and women, and the command of our Imam to those young people who started their life to put as the top of their list when they actually selecting a spouse. The wise is the one who desires a woman that is pious, honorable, and from a right family, a righteous family with good foundation, over the most beautiful, and from a wicked background, an undesirable family. Follow the eternal beauty that lasts and stays for the lifetime, and if you insist on external beauty as your goal, then